That's good.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We've actually gone back to our old format, which is actually, we're in bed right now. Ooh, risque. We're in bed right now.
That we are.
And the original title of the podcast was As We Go to Sleep, As We Fall Asleep. And then we changed it to Thoughts Explored. So
now we're kind of going back to our old format of like as we're falling asleep.
As we're falling asleep. We had a great night out. And now the topic.
What is the topic,
I
my
did
darling?
not tell you.
No, I love it when you don't tell me because then I really am sort of freestyling.
Okay, so the topic tonight
Yes.
is competition versus collaboration.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I just wanted to present that because I've been really thinking about that a lot. And competition, at least to me, is not very... It seems like somebody has to, lose.
It's inherently not very collaborative.
Exactly.
Right.
So when I think of collaboration, I think of inclusivity, and I think that there's just a lot more room for people to explore and connect as opposed to being a vacuum. But tell me your thoughts.
Well, no, I agree because collaboration implies there's not a winner or a loser, but we are working for the greater good or working together for an end result, a positive end result, as opposed to a winner or loser.
Yeah.
And that's just... And maybe if I really thought about it, there is collaboration and competition to some degree, but I don't... Well, yeah, because I think competition generally implies that somebody is winning over somebody else.
Right.
And I think there's a place for competition, and I think that that's fine, but it does have its limitations. It's not the end-all and be-all. And I think that collaboration probably is a more, well, like you said, a more inclusive or in the long run, a better situation because you're collaborating with more people and more ideas and you've got more input.
Yeah. When I think about competition, I think about somebody is going to be number one, and then somebody's going to be on top, and somebody's not going to win. And that just doesn't sound like a good scenario to me. What sounds like a better scenario to me is one in which everybody's needs gets met, and then there is something formed that is greater than what you started with. Because It seems like with a competition, it's well, there's a winner and there's a loser. And that just doesn't sound good to me. I like it where there is everybody is in a winning situation. And people make fun of that, okay? So people are always well, everybody can't be a winner. But I just don't know about that. I think that you can be. But that only comes with, I think, collaboration.
Well, I think they're two super different formats. I mean, because, yes, not everybody can be a winner if it is a competition format.
Right.
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
And everybody shouldn't be a winner. If you're doing a competition format,
Right.
there should be a winner and somebody who doesn't win, because that's the paradigm or that's the format
But
that you've set out.
I would propose that I don't like that
I understand.
particular
And I
situation.
noticed that about you because, like, sometimes, even when you're watching like Top Chef
Yeah.
or the cooking programs, you're like, I wish that they didn't have to pick a winner. And I'm always like, right, but honey, that's the format. It's a competition.
Yeah.
So we've had this conversation a number of times where you're like, but they're all good. And then I'm like, right, they are. However, in this particular format,
like, I feel like it's
You know.
not a recognition of everybody's talents, and there's not an appreciation for it, because then somebody is like sent off somewhere and told that they are not good enough. And I think that is what I take exception to.
I guess I also see the other side of that. And I'm not a terribly competitive person one way or another. But I feel like
I think that's kind of funny, but that'll be another conversation.
the other side of that really is that even for the people that don't win in a competition format, I think that there's value to that. And it's not like, oh, you didn't win, so therefore you're the loser. It's like an appreciation. At least when I've been in competitive situations, there's an appreciation of the person that does win or the team that wins or whatever, where you're like, no, they were really great. And in this moment, they were better than I was, and I fully appreciate that. So I think that there's something to be said for people that willingly join in a competition, and they understand that, like, some days I'm going to win and some days somebody else is going to win. And I appreciate that, I appreciate that format. I willingly am in that format.
Well, I mean, I think, yes, you make the
Yeah.
point about willingly. I mean, we're not
For
like
sure.
at gladiators here. But
No, but I mean, like, different than a competitive work environment or something where that's a very different competitive situation than a sportsman-like competitiveness.
yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other thing where it's maybe not so willing.
So, what you're saying that you? I mean, I'm not saying that.
I think that there is merit to the people that choose to be in a competitive thing with sports or team sports or cooking shows or whatever that is, where they're like, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and I'm going to, compete my heart out with the knowledge that I may or may not win. And there's a beauty to that. That's awesome. And I think that is very different, though, than in a peer setting, like in a work situation or something, where it's sort of the dark side of competition, where it's like a dog-eat-dog situation, or where certain people have, for whatever reason, a leg up or an unfair advantage or that kind of thing. That's sort of the dark side of a competitive thing. And I think that is very different than choosing to be in a sportsmanship kind of competition. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're really kind of really two different things, but could come under competition. I never really thought about that until I'm just now saying it.
Yeah.
But those are some of the things that come up as we're falling asleep.
as we're falling
Yeah.
asleep. I mean, you got some good points there. I guess I just like to see everybody be recognized for the value that they bring.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a competition, you're sending somebody out, and then
Yeah.
there's, I mean, where's the, You know what I mean.
Kind
Kind of.
I don't know that I always agree with that. Because
You don't have to.
I think that there's well, I do. I think that there's also that the value of like, wow, this time I didn't win, but I'm going to try harder next time, or, like, and an appreciation of that.
And
I've been in competitive situations where I didn't always win, but even when I didn't win, I loved the situation. I loved the competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think it pushes you.
Yeah.
And I don't know that. I guess when I think about collaboration, there's not really. I mean, it's like a melding, right? And so there's not a sense of one or the other. There's a sense of cohesiveness. There's a sense of, okay, we did this thing together. And that's what I like.
Well, and maybe we could say that the collaboration in competition comes in, for instance, a team sport. Each team is collaborating together, right, to compete against
but then
another
that
team.
Some team has to lose.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe I appreciate a titch more the spirit of it.
Yeah.
But very, very, very different from not a well-spirited thing that is more cutthroat and not consensual, or not like a willing sportsmanship kind of situation. And that's a very different kind of competitiveness.
Yeah.
That has kind of a dark side to it.
Yeah.
Or like just a disadvantaged side, as opposed to people that are like, nope, I am going to throw my hat in the ring. I'm going to be a competitor, and maybe I'll win and maybe I'll lose. And that's okay. It's the joy of the competition.
We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Well, I think I'm sorry, I was a little distracted because I thought I heard the cat jumping in the window.
What cat?
So, on that note,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we will say good night, and we will see you for our next installment.
Yes, next month.
Okay.
It's almost July.
Almost there.
Love and gratitude.
Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye.